Welcome to the Green Portal, a forum for issues related to people, politics, and economy as it affects our planet. Today, we're going to discuss a word you may have heard, but not really understood: neoliberalism. It is a bit of an anachronism in that it is not new, and it is assuredly not liberal in the way that most of us progressives understand that term. Here is a video from one of the people I really respect, George Monbiot, who describes neoliberalism better than anyone else that I've heard. Check it out.
Neoliberalism is a way of defining human beings by the market. And while it began as a sincere philosophy, it very quickly became a self-serving racket, which effectively exempted billionaires and large corporations from the constraints of democracy, from paying their taxes, from not polluting, from having to pay fair wages, from not exploiting their workers. One of the things that neoliberalism wants to get out of the way is democracy. In some respects, it's been absolutely overt about that. Friedrich Hayek, in The Constitution of Liberty, saw democracy as an impediment to the freedom of the very rich. When he visited Chile under Pinochet, he said he would rather live in an economically liberal dictatorship than in a democracy without economic liberalism. Neoliberalism has provided the ideological framework that justifies the sweeping away of the power of people and its replacement with the power of money and the power of corporations, which is an organized form that money takes. And it's been extremely successful in this respect, leading to the mass deregulation of those corporations, including the deregulation of mergers and acquisitions, allowing them to form a new wave of monopolies, banks too big to fail, corporations too big to fail, privatized public services too big to fail, all of which end up getting bailed out by the state because they simply can't function in the real world because they are not sufficiently subject to the constraints that people would wish to impose on them, and they tend necessarily towards crisis without that state intervention. So there's a profound irony here in that neoliberalism was supposed to get the state out of the way, but it requires intense state involvement in order to function.
So is Donald Trump a neoliberal? Let's hear from George Monbiot on that.
Neither Trump nor Brexit could be plainly described as neoliberal, but both of them are in some ways a result of neoliberalism, because what neoliberalism has done is to destroy effective political choice. It's been to destroy democratic power. When communities are broken, when society is broken, when we don't anymore enjoy the sense of common purpose, then it's much more likely that a demagogic, extremist anti-politics will fill that gap. And of course, that is another product of neoliberalism, that atomization of society. And so those things combined have led people to look for an alternative to politics. And instead of seeking to solve issues through political argument and debate, looking for slogans, for symbols, for sensations instead. That's what Trump offered. That's what the Leave campaign offered. It could make you feel good about kicking over the system and starting again. And so one of the great ironies is that in response to the destruction of political choice and political power by neoliberalism, we've ended up with, in America, the kind of person that Friedrich Hayek, the father of neoliberalism, worshipped. This ultra-rich person who'd inherited his wealth, who can do what the hell he likes and blaze a trail, however crazy, that other people can follow because he's completely uninhibited by the constraints of democracy. That is Donald Trump. And so the reaction to neoliberalism, to what neoliberalism has done to our politics, has ended up empowering the great Randian, Hayekian neoliberal hero.
Well, there you have it. Donald Trump as the Hayekian neoliberal hero. Next up, what does that mean for our economy? What does that mean for our environment? What does that mean for the world our children and our grandchildren will inherit? Follow us on the Green Portal, and we'll be discussing these issues. And thank you for your attention.